guys, how's it going? This is Diane, the Be a Blessing Stitcher, and today is Friday, September 28, and this is my Flosstube channel, which is primarily about cross stitch and fabric collecting. I promise I will eventually get to sewing. I'm starting to get a little bit of a stitchy bug anyway for doing some sewing again. And if you're new here, just wanted to give you a heads up of what you're in for. And if you're returning, thank you guys all so much for coming back and visiting with me. This is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter video this time. I don't feel like I have a whole lot to show you, but we'll see. I always manage to ramble on a little bit, so we'll see how long it goes. Let's start. Oh, this is also Flosstube number 8. Let's start with an arm update. I ended up getting through my MRI and it wasn't so bad. So for all of you guys who encouraged me and told me not to be so timid or to just be a little brave, it was fine. Wasn't the most comfortable thing that I've ever done. They kind of put my arm up and over my head in an uncomfortable position, and then holding that for 30 to 40 minutes. By the time we got done, I couldn't hardly move my arm. It took about an hour for that to settle down again. I kind of really irritated it, but I got through it, and I've got the results already. Good news, bad news. Good news is my ligament is fine, which means I won't need a special surgeon to repair anything. Bad news is I still need surgery. So I have an appointment coming up with a surgeon in a week and a half, 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. We'll figure out a surgery date. I'm guessing they're going to be just replacing the radial head in my elbow, which has really been deteriorating at kind of a rapid pace, considering I just injured it less than a year ago. So we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm not going to stress over it. It is what it is. I know I can live with one arm. I've done it before when I broke it twice, 3 times. Third time's the charm, right? So anyway, I know I can do it. I'm not looking forward to it again, but I can do it. So all things are possible with God, right? Who gives me strength. So it'll be good. I think what I'm gonna start with today is, I showed you guys some finishes last week and I got some FFOs. So I spent a whole day kind of just working on getting some things finished up for you so I could show them to you this week. You guys are a great incentive for me. If I didn't have this channel, I probably would be sticking them in a drawer and not enjoying them. So now I get to set them out in my house and I get to enjoy them. So the first ones that I got done, I finished the same. These are my 2 kind of little prim pillows that I made. And they kind of match. One's a little bigger than the other, so they kind of stack nicely together. And I finished them with this fabric, both the same on the back, and then I put this really cool trim that I found, I think it was Hobby Lobby or Walmart. Shoot, you know what, I can't quite remember where I found that trim, but it's a really cool variegated fall colored type of a trim. And I got lazy and I glued it on. And I don't love it. I don't love it. I might have to go in. I can see holes underneath it, some places where the glue kind of pulled away. So I might go in and I might tack it in a few areas with some thread, just so it doesn't bug me anymore. We'll see. We'll see if I get that done yet this year, because I would rather cross stitch. So much rather cross stitch. So anyway, this is Bountiful Harvest. And this one is just, I can't remember what it was called, but I did print the pages. Let me grab those a minute so I can show them to you. Trying to be better. Indian Corn Alphabet Pillow Tuck is one. And these are by a gal named Shelly A-U-E-N. A-U-E-N. I have no idea how to pronounce that. So that's the Indian Harvest one. And the other one is called, I think, Bountiful Harvest, also a pillow tuck. And there's actually a little more stitching in there than what it looks like. I thought those would both be super fast little stitches. No, not so much. They took me a little longer than I expected. But I have them done now, and I can put them up for display for fall, because I don't really decorate much for Halloween. So I'm starting to put my fall stuff up already. And then the last one, not the last one, the next one is my sunflower pillow. Love this little sunflower pillow. I found this one from Nichol. She had either posted a picture on her Instagram or possibly on her Flosstube channel that she was stitching this one, and I fell in love with it. So I did end up doing this one all with color and cotton threads, because I've also fallen in love with color and cotton. And this was my first foray into trying their threads, and look at the beautiful variegation in the green and the brown, the yellows. I just really think their flosses are super fun. And then I put it with just a sunflower backing. And then I found this trim, which is a super thin chenille. I saw that one on Loose Thread Stitchers. Leanne had done a finish with that. And it came from, I'm not sure how you say this, either Dames of the Needle or Dames of the Needle. On her Etsy shop, she's got this really skinny chenille trim, which I think sometimes is more appropriate than the real thick. I love the thick fuzzy stuff too. I kind of just love all the things, all the crafty things. I'm not picky. Throw it at me, I'll take it. And I have become a dumping ground. People are like, you want this? And I'm like, sure, let me just stuff that in another closet somewhere. I'll find a place for it. But anyway, I really like how it kind of kept it very simple, but finished it off a little bit, because my seams were not beautiful on this one. As a matter of fact, really struggled with the corners on this one. When I went to turn them, my linen just shredded. And to try to get those corners, I ended up kind of doing a round stitch, and then even as I was stitching things on, the threads wanted to pop and pull. So I'll list what the linen was on this. I want to say it was a Weeks Dye Works, like tin roof maybe. I'll have to double check. But it was a little bit of a bugger to finish. I didn't love, you know, it was fine working on it and stitching it, but sewing it into a pillow was a little bit of a challenge. So maybe if I had done something different, if I had put it on a flat finish or in a frame, it probably would have been just fine. But stitching around it was hard. And here's the pattern for that one. It's by Rovaris, also on Etsy. And that one has a super cute finish too, where they extended it with some fabric and some rickrack. So many different ways to finish that you can just make them so customized to your space, which I love. I love that. Then I finished my I Love Fall Most of All by Brenda Gervais. And this one I did, sorry for the crinkles, I'm so bad about remembering to take things out ahead of time. So here's a picture, I think, here's a picture of the pattern finished. And you'll see in just a minute that I did mine differently than that. I followed most of the other colors, but I did finish mine with a white pumpkin. I wanted to have just a pop of brightness in it. I was afraid it was going to kind of just blend into the background. This is on my shelf sitter by Paisley and Polka Dots. And as you can see, this is the color of the wood that I chose, kind of this grayish, and then my fabric is grayish. And I knew if the pumpkin was that light harvest pumpkin color, I just didn't think it would show very well. So because of that, I had to change a few other colors. I changed the color of the stem. I did do some color and cotton on this one as well. I did not stitch the specialty stitches here in the bird, and honestly, I'm kind of regretting that now. I wish I had been brave enough to try it, but I altered this pattern a ton. I wanted it to fit right here on this little piece, and it was too square. It needed to be more rectangle. So I shrunk everything, like above the pumpkin, I kind of shrunk everything here down a little bit. I moved these big flowers down, everything, I kind of moved it down so that it would fit. And I love how it turned out. But I am done altering patterns for a while. It just takes so much more thought, and you end up putting in and ripping out. I think I stitched that stem 8 or 9 times with just different colors, and I could not come up with one that I liked. And finally it dawned on me that I needed to go more golden. So I think I did a DMC like 676 maybe, or 677. I think it was 677, a lighter gold color. And that turned out to be the winner. So, but that was a bit of a challenge. You know, when you change colors, there's a reason why the designers choose certain colors. And once you start switching those around, you can back yourself into a corner real fast. Which I did. And of course the stem was one of the last things I did, so I didn't realize how I had limited myself because of all the other colors I had chosen. I couldn't move in certain directions because of the other colors. It was too similar. So anyway, that was a bit of a challenge. I did that one on, oh, this was Weeks Tin Roof. So my other one wasn't Weeks Tin Roof, and I don't have my card. I'll throw a little note up on the screen when I'm editing this to let you know what the fabric was that I was working with for this sunflower stitch that was so difficult. And I can put information up too regarding the other 2 prim pillows that I did, the little pin tucks. So that was 4 out of 5 of my finishes. My last one, you can kind of see just over my shoulder here, I finished my flying lessons. I don't know if I love my bow yet. I'm kind of living with it. Do you guys ever do that too, where you do something and then you just gotta let it percolate a little bit and see if you like it or not, or if it needs to be changed? So I've had it up for about 3 or 4 days, and I'm thinking on it. It's kind of big. It matches my house quite well. I don't know if I like it. I feel like maybe I need another edging around my stitch to give it some definition from the frame, but let me see if I can get closer without making you all sick. I'll get myself out of the frame here a little bit, and whoops, this way. Let's see, can I get in there? Which way do I have to go? I am so sorry, guys. Maybe I can zoom, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the stitch. And I'm really super pleased with how it turned out. I'd take it down, but it's so hard for me to thread those little chains into that top thing that I just dread having to take it off of there again. This one, I had actually painted the piece is by Chantel, 141 Designs, the holder, the like post holder. And I had done it in black because I do everything in black. That's my go-to. And then I put it in the spot that I wanted it to go to, and it just disappeared. My TV cabinet is black, and it just, you couldn't even see it. So I re-spray painted it in, I think it was called Heirloom White, a chalk paint that I had gotten. Really, really happy with the color. It's not stark white. I didn't want that, but it's a good color. But I do feel like I need to frame out the piece a little bit more. So we'll see if I change that one. Again, I'm gonna percolate on it a little bit and see if I need to do something. It's on with magnets, so it can come off. The bow is on with magnets as well. So it can all come off, and I can use it for other designs later on, which I love that. I don't know who came up with that idea originally, but I think it's genius. I just do a lot of my different nicer finishes that way. That way I don't have to store a lot of different wooden products, different frames. I can just swap them out, which I really, really like. And then the last one that I forgot to show you, I should have taken it, that one's on my other shoulder, but I finished my autumn pumpkin, and I think I forgot to show you guys that one. Let's see if I can get closer to that one. And I keep turning it the wrong way. And there's my autumn pumpkin. He just gets swapped out every season. for a new one. And I really like the fact that I have kind of a neutral frame there that I can pretty much pop anyone into. I know I stitched that one on 14 count Aida, and then I coffee tea dyed it. That was, I think, the one I posted that it had bled, and took me a long time to just get it finished. All I had to do really was cut a piece of poster board, or what do we call it, mat board, and into the right size. And then I usually do a lacing type of a finish on the back of most of them. I feel like I have more control over my corners and stuff when I do that, and when I don't do that, I usually regret it. So I just had to cut a board and put my batting on, and then I had to lace it is all. So, but that took a little while to get that done too. But it's finished now, and so now I feel like I'm getting close to fall. The one thing I don't have done, and I'm gonna ask your opinion on it, is my wicker basket that hangs on my wall that is full of my florals. I have no idea what to put on that one this time. I have looked at a million patterns, and I got a couple options, but if you guys have something better for me, I would love it. It needs to be about 8 or 9 inches tall by about maybe 6 inches wide. And I think that's my biggest problem. It could be a little wider. I could go wider if I needed to, but I want it to be 8 or 9 inches tall, and just really struggling to find the pattern that I think would work best there. So I'll pop a picture in of that, and you guys can tell me what you think would be a good idea. But these are my top 2 contenders that I have right now. One is called Pumpkin House by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. See if I can do this with the glare. That's not too bad. He's quite square. I could alter it again to make it more rectangle shaped, but like I said, I'm tired of altering patterns. So I don't know, but I really like the idea of putting some kind of a house on there, because I love houses anyway. And then the other one is just a Bent Creek pattern called Harvest. Did you guys see the latest by Fat Quarter Shop with the interview that they did with Bent Creek? That was really fun and interesting for me to watch. And she was explaining how they just like simple names, which that's what made me think of it, is it's just called Harvest. But this is the other one. It's a sampler style. I really like that one too. It's also very square. But again, I could maybe just do something a little bigger and a little bit more square, because I think I've got the room to do it there. So those are my 2 top contenders. If you guys have a better pattern that you think would go there, would you please let me know the name of it, or send me an email with the picture, or on Instagram, send me a message. Either way, I'm b.a.blessingstitcher on Instagram as well. And feel free to message me anytime. Some of you guys have been sending me comments, a couple of emails with pictures, and I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, it's just been so fun to get to know some of you guys better. And I really love seeing what you all are stitching as well. And I wish there was a little bit more of a 2-way door that I could see what you're doing as well as you can see what I'm doing. So I'll have to give that one a little more thought, see if there's another venue or another way for us to connect with pictures. I wish you could leave pictures in the comments. That would be awesome. But I know you can't, because I've tried. So anyway, those are 2 of my plans-ish that I want to do yet for the fall, because I still have my flag by Bent Creek up there, and it's gonna stay there until I have a replacement, because it looks really dumb with nothing there, because it's just got my big magnets sticking on it, which looks really bad. So then I thought I would just show you my whips, or should I say whip, because I have been monogamously stitching just one thing lately. I started doing a stitch along with Alana from Mrs. Smith Stitches, and it's a blackbird design out of the Winds of Autumn book. And we are doing Mighty Acorn, which is toward the back. I actually sat down and looked through this book the other day and I was shocked at how many other patterns in here there were that I had no idea. There are some other, wow, really pretty. Like I was just kind of looking at the front and back cover, not realizing that there are some other things in here. Hopefully I didn't show you that chart. Look at that one. Isn't that one pretty? Maybe that one could be a contender too for my wicker holder. But yeah, they've got a lot of different really fun other patterns in here that I didn't realize were even in this book. So I've been doing that one, and I'm doing Mighty Acorn. Did I show it to you now or not? I think I went right on past it. This is Mighty Acorn. And Alana is stitching it pretty much as is, except she's changing the house to a blue. We had seen that done by Handmade by Sarah W. She used a dolphin blue. I don't know if that's a Weeks or Classic Colorworks color, but hers was so pretty and we both fell in love with that. So we both decided to do a blue house. And I've just been rocking and rolling on it and I'm really enjoying it. So I haven't been able to put it down, and I haven't had that in a while. I've also not done really any big stitches that I felt, or even medium. It's kind of a medium size that I was really intrigued with or wanted to keep going on. It's usually way more fun to start than it is to keep going. But this is where I'm at so far on that one. I've got my blue house done. I've got the border done. I found out that I'm rather odd. I shouldn't say I found that out. I think I've known that for quite a while. But most people apparently don't stitch the border first, or at least they don't go all the way around. They like to work the border in with the rest of the pattern, kind of work it maybe in a diagonal from one side or the other. And I like doing the border first. First of all, I get it out of the way. And secondly, it allows me then to jump into the pattern anywhere I want to. I don't have to like work from here down before I can finally get to the house, which is what I love. So I have a tendency when I do samplers, at least as of right now, maybe that will change as I mature as a stitcher, I like doing the borders first. It's not completely done. I have to do, I think, some acorns and stuff in here. But it matches. I've got the inside border done where it needs to be. And my house, I ended up just recently stitching the roof, and the door was done in the same color as the tree, and I decided I liked the door to match the roof. So I pulled that back out and I did it in that lighter grayish, it's almost a greenish gray color, but I did it in that color instead. So this again was converted all to color and cotton, and I had contacted the store and just asked them to do a conversion for me, and I didn't really pay attention to what they sent me. I just approved what they pulled, and I'm finding I don't love everything that they have, so I've been within those colors, and with some of my other color and cotton stash, I've been changing things here and there a little bit. This wasn't supposed to be green. It ended up being almost a brownish color that they had pulled for me. And I feel like this picture has so much brown already that I wanted to pop in a little green. So my problem is now this same color is called for the trim around the windows. So I'm trying to decide, do I want green trim around my windows? The answer might be, why yes I do. I'm such a have to see it kind of person, so I'll probably put one or maybe even two windows in and then decide if I like the green or if I need to pull in something that's a little bit more brown. So we'll see where that one goes. So anyway, I'm loving this stitch. I'm just having so much fun with it. So I have been having a really hard time putting it down. But the other things that I really want to jump into and work on, I want to get this done, my Tiny Town Harvest. So badly, because I want to put that around my Skep for the fall. And I think that this is typically a pretty fast stitch. but I haven't pulled anything yet. I haven't pulled fabrics, although I think I'll probably do it in Vintage Country Mocha. That's what I've done my other ones on. Other one, listen to me, other ones. I have all the patterns, but I've only done one. I kind of had always intended to do them all on Vintage Country Mocha. I want to do the Christmas one too before Christmas hits if I can. So this one is super high on my list for getting started. I don't know if I feel the need to do the called fors on this. I might choose color and cotton for areas that I want variegation. But a lot of the smaller pieces, I don't feel the need to have specialty floss in order to do them. The houses, if they're big enough, sometimes can have really pretty variegation in it. I really think that this tree will be pretty if there's some variegation in that. And I might go a lighter color on that tree. That has always seemed a little dark to me and a little heavy. Oh, look, there's branches in it. I didn't realize that. If I do a lighter color, then those branches would show better too. So I might change that color out a little bit. But anyway, this one is hot on the top of the list. And then the other thing that I really want to get done is my next season 2. I think it's too late for me to tackle October, which is here. So I might jump into November and try to get that one done, or even December. But I want to keep going on these as well. And the only one I've really finished so far is August. So this one also is going to go on the short list of things that I'm going to start working on here shortly. If I can just simply put my sampler down, having a hard time. It is sampler September, right? I've got a couple more days. So those two are really at the top of my list for what I want to tackle. And then I have one other sampler that I really intended to get to. I show this one to you guys every week, and I've gotten absolutely nowhere. It's my Bouquet of Sunshine. My poor pattern's getting crumpled. I think it's just beautiful. And I haven't started any of the sunflower yet, but I do have the border done again. Imagine that. I have the border done. So it shouldn't be too hard to jump in and start doing the sunflowers, which I think would really spur me on and make me want to kind of keep working on that one. So those are my main things that I want to tackle over the next little while, into October for sure. The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, I think, are my plans for 2024. I know it might be a little bit early to talk about that. And I've mentioned it before, but I want to do the 24 for 2024. And I don't yet quite know if that's going to be 24 new starts or if it will be 12 new starts and 12 whips. I have to sit down and do a calculation of how many whips I actually have. I started just a quick list the other day, and a mental list in my head, and I know I've got at least 12, but I have to actually dig things out and start going through them and see which ones are started and which ones are just mentally started. Like I think I've started them, but I've maybe only just kitted them up. So I need to do that before the next Flosstube, because I want to have a handle on that before I go into 2024. So I know how many, some of them are huge. One of them is my full coverage piece by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the other one is Lady of the Flag. I'm also thinking of starting another Mirabilia with someone. It's, what's it called? Butterfly Fairy. I don't have it yet, it's coming. But I have all of a sudden been into this crazy mode of collecting. It's my second hobby, or my third or my fourth hobby, collecting Mirabilias. And one of the things that I've been collecting are some of the queens. And so I'm just gonna quick run through my Mirabilia patterns with you guys. So I have Winter Queen. I've always thought she was beautiful. I love like the fur-ish looking edging to her outfit. Thought that was so pretty. And then I have Royal Holiday Queen. And I think she also is so regal. Love the red, love the print on her dress. And then I have Autumn Queen. Had to look up her name. And she is out of print. I found her on the secondary market. And then I have Queen of Peace. And then of course I have my Lady of the Flag. You guys have seen that, and I'm working on her. I'm using a working copy. Right now these are all kind of in a protective sleeves and in a binder so I don't destroy anything. And then I also found another one that I've been wanting, which is Queen of Freedom. And I'm really excited to do her as well. So, also on the secondary market, some of these are out of print. Then this one I've shown you already. This is Autumn in My Garden. And then this one I've shown you too, and this is Stargazer. Remember I told you I would love to do her in pinks or greens. I would love either one or both. But that's a little daunting, trying to figure out a color conversion on a Mirabilia. And then I started collecting some of the fairies. This one is, I gotta shake it. Oh, sorry if I make you dizzy. Her name doesn't want to drop down. Let's see if I can make her name fall down. There we go. This one is called July's Amethyst Fairy. This one is from the Pixie Couture collection. They don't always have the name. Oh, this is Rose. And then I have Holly. Jasmine. And I love this one, Wisteria. And Ivy. And the last one, which I also really love too, is Geranium. And one of my last unicorn charts with the mirrors is Bluebell. And there was a sale on it on eBay. And I thought I was gonna swoop in at the last minute and snatch it, and it went for a ridiculous amount over and above what was in there. So in the last minute and a half. So I decided that's not for me yet. Hopefully I'll find her at a reasonable price somewhere someday. I have plenty to stitch, as you can see, but I do really want to stitch Bluebell someday as well. So that is pretty much it for, well, yeah, I guess that's it for what I wanted to show you there. Then I have just a small haul this time. It's not really that big. I love dimension kits, and I continue to collect those as well. This one's called Sweet Memories. It's from the Gold Collection. Ooh, lots of glare. Let's see if I get closer. No, that doesn't really help much, does it? But it's a winter Christmas scene. The house has got lights on it. I'm kind of a sucker for anything Christmas and winter. I really love the way those look. And then this one is called European Bistro. I like this one a lot too. I'm not sure exactly why I'm drawn to that, but I am. And I did find one other Mira, and this one is, like I said, I'm collecting the queens. This is Summer Queen, so I'm also still missing Spring Queen. So that is also in my list of wants, my unicorn charts Bluebell and Spring Queen. Otherwise, I've got all of the season queens. Then I purchased a few things off of the stash sites, but I didn't get a ton. I'm showing a little restraint. I'm kind of proud of me. But I already have autumn, and now I bought Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. And I'm not sure which one of those I'm going to start first, because I also have Kringle, and I really want to start Kringle too. So maybe if I start any of them, I'll start the autumn one first, because Kringle's a big one, a big project as well. This one I found from Hands On Design. I love daisies, I love sunflowers, and I'm not even sure quite which ones these are. It's called Grace of a Flower, but I really love all the little yellow flowers in there. I thought that would make just a real pretty, fun summer stitch. And I saw on somebody's Flosstube, whose was that? I think it was Two Needles Pulling Thread, Missy, maybe. She had finished hers just on a flat board, and then instead of like putting it in a frame or anything, she just used that flat piece and tucked it into her decor. She didn't make it into a pillow or anything. She just simply tucked it in. And I thought, wow, what a great idea. What a simple idea. If you have things around it that will kind of hold it up, like in a dough bowl, if you've got a deep enough one or something. I thought that's a really cool idea. So I might try something like that. And then I've been looking at this one forever. Plum Street Sampler, Cinnamon Stars. I've seen this one stitched many, many, many times. And I love it. And I kept resisting and kept resisting. And then it was for sale on one of the sites, and I caved. And then I think I've mentioned before that I have Dutch heritage, a lot of Dutch heritage, like 100%. And I saw this on the site, which is similar to Blue Delft, which is a Dutch type of, I don't know if I want to call it a porcelain, but maybe it is a porcelain. They've made many, many figurines with it, but the coloring in this, the colorway is very, very Blue Delft looking. So I thought that would be kind of cool to do. And the last one I got is called Victorian Village, because I love houses. I just really have a thing for houses. Now this one has a lot of backstitch. Not totally sure I love it, but it is a cool village vibe. It's got really kind of cool detail. That backstitching does add so very much cool detail to it. So that was it for my haul. I did get a little bit of fabric. I have the hardest time resisting fabric. I have to like sit on my hands so I don't push the buy it now or the me please button. This one I think was one of my last ones from Grace Note Fabrics, and it's a beautiful color called Hazelnut. Really love that, but I did discontinue my subscription with Grace Notes, at least for a little while. I'm doing Atomic Ranch right now, and I've been hearing such great things about that I wanted to try it out, and I got in on the 36 count, so I'm going to try that for a while and see if I like it. And if I don't like it as much as Grace Notes, I might go back to this. Or back to Be Stitch Me, because I was doing that one as well. And then I found Fox and the Rabbit up in the attic. This is a 40 count. This is just a very beautiful brown. So it's like a milk chocolate color almost. No purple in it though, but it's a really beautiful brown. And then I found some Hemingway. Rachel from Needle and Flax has had it open a couple of times where she had opened up a few colors in a few sizes on her website. And I was fortunate enough to jump in. So this one is called Hemingway. And people absolutely rave about her fabrics. And so I'm super excited to use that in something. I don't know what yet. So that was one. And then I also got Steinbeck from her. Sorry again for the crinkle. Steinbeck has a little bit more of a gray streak through it. A little darker color, but still just beautiful. So I'm excited to have both of those, and that's it for my haul, you guys, at least for fabric. Or is it? Nope, maybe not. Nope. I also got some Sleeping Bear from her. That's a new color that she's doing. This is Sleeping Bear. It's a little bit more of a sandy tan color. I think I jumped all over it when she said she had a little bit of available on her site, and I think I went just a little crazy because then I also bought some Dirty Teacup and, oh yeah, more Sleeping Bear. I got 2 different fat quarters on Sleeping Bear, but this one is Dirty Teacup, and this has a real almost golden color to it. Oh, but look at how gorgeous that modeling is. This one has a real golden color though, almost peachish golden. So, yay, I should be stocked up now on fabric. I should not need fabric for, dare I say, years? No, I don't dare say that. Please don't hold me to that. Okay, that is it for my haul. At least for my cross stitch haul. I have a couple of other things that I wanted to show you guys. I bought a little bit of fabric. Let's see if I can get this out of here without bumping my camera. I've been looking at this fabric forever. They started advertising it as early as like 6 months ago, and I think you could pre-order it on Fat Quarter Shop, but it was so spendy that I just kept saying, no, you don't need it, you don't need it, and you don't need it. But of course they keep advertising it and it keeps coming up. And I think once you show an interest in it, it then shows it to you everywhere. On every website that you go to, it pops up in a corner. So I bought the Fat Quarter of Lighthearted. And I didn't just buy the Fat Quarter. Oh, those colors, I love them. This is by Camille Roskally. She used to be the other half of Bonnie and Camille, and now that Bonnie has retired, Camille is doing it by herself, and the fabrics are yummy, yummy, yummy. So I found a quilt. Oh shoot, I forgot to take that quilt pattern up that I was going to show you guys. Maybe I'll pause and go get it a minute. But the pattern called for a jelly roll, so I got a jelly roll, I got a Fat Quarter, I got a charm pack, and then I got yardage. I got some of the, this is heart on, it's like cream on cream. There's little hearts in it. I don't know if you can see that, if I get close enough. So I thought that would work really well for my low volume. And then I also got this for the backing. So I got some yardage on that. And trying to decide if I feel like running downstairs to go get that pattern. Nope. I don't. What I will do is I'll pop a picture up here on it for you so you guys can see. I'm getting the quilting bug so bad, but I'm having a hard time putting down my stitching. I just really love my stitching. It's just easy. I feel like if I'm going to do some quilting, I have to have at least a day to myself. Also, right now, with the condition of my arm, if I go to use my Olfa cutter and roll across it as I do this motion, my elbow pops, 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 and hurts. So I'm thinking for cutting out a quilt right now that might have to wait until my arm is healed, which I don't want to wait. But I think it might be best if I do that. So anyway, that was my fabric haul. I'm really excited to do that. I am gonna turn that into a quilt. I am. That one you can hold me to. I am. And then I found one more thing. I was watching Samantha, the Hugo Stitcher, and she was showing some new storage ideas that she had found for her beads for doing her mirabilias. She does quite a few of them. And it was this little section. And it's just this little 4-pack of drawers, and they're stackable, they're changeable. So I could put them all on top of each other, or I could put them side by side. I could go one, but they connect. They're like connected. So then they have, whoops, it's gonna move on me. If you pull one of the drawers out, they have inside like little Tic Tacs. It's full of these little containers, and they look like little Tic Tac holders. Whoops, that look like this. And I hope that stays on there better than that. Anyway, they look like this, and then they just have like a little flip top for pouring your beads in and out. And then it even comes with this cool little funnel that allows you, I think, to shake them all back in. I think you can put that. Does that fit? Probably not. I'm not sure if that fits or not, but this came with it. Not totally sure what the purpose of that is. And it also came with a sheet of stickers. So you can mark down the number of all your beads. And I love to organize stuff like this. This is just like super fun for me, even though I'm not a very organized person. If any of you have watched the movie Enola Holmes, she indicates that certain things are not her core strength. It's not my core strength, organization. But I think I like it, and so I keep trying to organize, but I never quite achieve it. But I've got this whole bag now of Mira beads because I've been purchasing the expansion packs that go with some of the Miras that I have. I don't want them to eventually become obsolete, that I can't find the beads for them anymore, especially if it needs specialty beads or bigger ones. So I've been kind of ordering those packs as well. And at first I was kind of hesitant to separate them, but they're all listed on the pattern. So I should be able to put them in my storage as long as I've got them listed and organized, and I should be able to go find them. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and separate everything out and put them all into my little bead storage packages. So I'm sort of excited to do that as well. So, okay, guys, kind of shorter today, but that's all I've got for you. Again, I would love it if you guys would comment, if you would like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me so much in my growth. That if you happen to like what I'm doing, if you like watching, give me a like, give me a subscribe. It would really mean the world to me. And keep commenting. I read them all, and I just am having so much fun with some of you guys. And like I said, feel free to either tag me on Instagram with things that you're stitching, or send me a message on Instagram, or send me an email with photos of what you're doing. I love it all. I love it all. And I will keep thinking on ways that we might be able to interact differently. I'm not ready to do like a Facebook page group or anything like that. I just don't want one more thing to have to monitor and organize. So that seems to be the easiest way, and maybe in the future that might be an option, but right now I'm not quite ready to do that. So I would love to see what you're doing though. I appreciate each and every one of you guys so much. You've all been a blessing to me big time, and I just can't tell you how much I'm enjoying this journey. It's given me purpose, if you want to say purpose. It's given me something that I think is interesting outside of just my family activities and my work. And it's super therapeutic. It's just so therapeutic for me. I want to say it's cheaper than therapy, but I can make it cheaper than therapy. I just have to work at that. So again, I enjoy you guys all so much, and I want to encourage you to be the reason that somebody smiles over the next couple of weeks. My tip for the day would be to perhaps send someone an uplifting text, somebody that's just been on your mind. Just tell them you're thinking of them, send them a virtual hug, or send them, better yet, an actual card in the mail. People don't do that very quickly anymore, but There's just nothing greater than to have a card that you can prop up on your counter of somebody that's thinking of you, praying for you, or somebody that just thought of you today, wanted to let them know that you're in their thoughts and in their prayers, and you're not forgotten. Because I think sometimes we can all feel a little bit forgotten. So continue to stitch, you guys, and share all the things, and let me know if you have any questions. If I've forgotten something important, or if you needed to see a picture of something, let me know, and I'll figure out a way to put it. Either I can't put a picture in the comments, but I could probably pop one into the video. I'm not sure if I can do that after the fact or not, but otherwise I can post it on Instagram or tag you somehow. So, or I can pull it up at the next video. So let me know if there's something that you want to see. And please tell me if you have a great idea for what my next stitch should be for my wicker display. Let me know. Like I said, if you want to vote between these two, either pumpkin house or harvest, which one do you guys like better? Which one do you think would fit better? So let me know, or let me know if you have a different suggestion, and I'll love to take a look at it. So keep stitching, stay happy, you guys, and remember to be kind to each other. And like I said, be the reason that somebody smiles. Have a great week, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.